Hello friends, welcome back to PLC programming tutorial, and in this video we are going to start learning timers. So as you know that the timers are the special type of clocks that are used to turn on or turn off the output at a particular time. So in this video we are going to start our first question related to timers. So the first question we have: code a ladder logic that when x0 is on, then y0 should be on after 5 seconds. So here we have to use timer. So what we have to do, we need a timer. So I go to ladder for ABPLC and click on this plus sign and click on timers, and here we got the timer on delay, and I drag and drop it over here. So now we need a contact in order to turn on this timer, and for that I go to contacts and I need a normally open contact and I place it over here. Okay, so another end of the contact I connect with the timer. So the input bit of the timer is EN and DN is the output bit of the timer. So we get the output from the timer from DN bit. So I connect this EN bit with this point. So we need another contact and an output coil, and I link them together. Okay, so when this EN bit is turned on, and after 5 seconds this DN bit also turn on, and DN bit turns on this contact, and this contact turns on the output. So let's associate all these components together. So the first contact I have to associate with the input IN0, and I have also to connect a push button, normally open push button. So for that I go to electrical control JIC standard and I drag and drop this normally open push button. So now I have to configure the timer, and I go to data and set this preset, which is already set to 10 seconds. I have to change it to the 5 seconds, and now I have to connect the EN bit, that is input bit, with the output 0 in order to turn on the timer. So I click on this EN bit and I have to associate with the output 0. Okay, so I have associated this EN bit, which is the input bit, with the output 0. Now I have to associate the output bit of the timer, that is DN, with this contact in order to turn on this output coil. So for that I click on this contact and I have to associate with the DN bit of the timer. So I associate with the DN, and now I have to associate this output coil with the out1. Okay, so I remove this indicator because we don't need it. We will be getting indicator by turning on this output 1. So let's connect this output 1 also with the 24 volts. Okay, so what is left it? Yes, one thing we have forget, that we have to latch the timer, otherwise we have to keep pressing the NO switch in order to get to the 5 seconds. So let's simulate it and I will show you that what I'm trying to sing. Okay, so when I press the push button, the timer goes on, and when I release it, it again comes to the 0. So in order to latch the timer, we have to latch the en bit of the timer, that is the input bit of the timer. So for that we need another NO contact, and I go to contacts and I take NO contact and connect it with the parallel with the first contact and associate it with the en bit. Okay, so let's simulate it again, and when I press the push button, the timer got latched with the en bit, and after 5 seconds the output goes on. So I hope you have understand. It's very simple. So we can set any time in the timer. So let's move to the question number 2. Code a ladder logic that when x0 is on, y0 should be on after 3 seconds, and after 3 more seconds y1 should be on. So here we have 2 outputs and 1 input, and also 2 timers, because after 3 seconds the first output goes on, and after 3 more seconds from the first input the second input goes on. So we need 2 timers, 2 outputs and 1 input. So let's begin. We will configure this ladder logic, and we need a timer. So the first timer we will configure it again, and we will set its preset to 3 seconds. So I need another timer, and I connect it parallel with the first output. So I connected the en bit, and I have connected the timer parallel to the output. So we need to configure the second timer also, and for that we have to double click on it and set its preset to 3 seconds. Okay, so now I have to connect another contact, NO contact, and associate that with the DN. So I take another contact, NO contact, and this timer is L11 and this one is L2. So I have to connect the DN bit of L11 with this contact. So I go to variable assignment and DN and select this one, L11 DN bit. Okay, now I have to connect the second output coil and associate with out 0, not out 0, out 2. Okay, now I have to connect this output 2 with the 24 volts. So let's simulate it. So when I press the push button, the timer goes on, and after the 3 seconds the first output goes on, and after 3 more seconds the second output goes on. So we have successfully done our second question, and I hope you have understood this question also. In the next video we are going to solve more questions related to timers. So see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.